Hey, everybody. How are you? Please say hello if you're here and you can see me and hear me. I'm hoping I turned off Apple reactions today, so we will see how that goes. I feel like I try to do that each time, and sometimes it's successful and sometimes it's not. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. I just want to take a moment of reverence together. Just a nice deep breath in, allowing ourselves to come into center. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Laura Mazzata. I am a holistic therapist of 20 years and an Akashic Records channel and a consciousness mentor. Being in the Akashic Records and channeling in this space is my medicine. It is my medicine. So for you to show up here and be part of this and to share in this community and to open your heart and to respond to one another, open to this energy, is truly such a gift for myself, for the collective, for Source itself. And I just want us to take a moment of honoring ourselves for being in this space together, for being open to this kind of divine intelligence. This is wild, guys. This is rare for people to sign up for this level of sometimes confrontation in the human, right? When we connect to divine intelligence, man, can we be confronted in the best way? And it can be uncomfortable sometimes, but it's in a way that allows us to see all layers of ourselves, and come into our full authenticity and essence of who we are. That's the whole point of this work. The whole point, yes, we're here to connect with spirit, but we're also humans, right? We're also humans. We were also chosen by our souls to be here at this time for a particular reason. And Source wants us to know ourselves. Source wants us to see ourselves at all layers and to come into full acceptance and appreciation of our beauty and our radiance and our gifts and the intelligence that we have to offer as a mix of what's coming through the universe and what's really inherent in the blueprint that our souls chose. So, it's very sacred. It's very sacred to be in this space together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I could gush all day, but give me a vote in the comments because I'm on the fence today. Do we open the Akashic Records together, or do you want me to just slip in and start doing readings? What feels good for you? Just write open or intention. Open if you want me to open them with you, or intention if you just want me to set together. Okay. I got one together. What else you guys got? Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Rachna. All right. You guys are all on the same page. This is quite the alignment. Whoa. Thanks, friends. All right. Resounding yes. Let's do it. You guys, I got this really fancy rose temple balm to put on my temple, and it smells amazing. And I'm going to do it for all of us. I'm sorry you can't smell it right now, but it smells amazing. I'm just going to put it on my third eye. Do you guys ever put essential oils or crystals on your third eye when you either enter the Akashic Records or do any kind of meditative practices? I mean, is it required? No. Does it feel really nice? Yes. Does it help your human just kind of sink more into that receptive position? Yes. So thank you for some reason the energy is prompting me to use that this morning. So you were told it was dangerous? What, to put essential oils on your third eye? It's not dangerous, babe. I mean, listen, this one is, it's mixed with like coconut oil and all other fancy oils. You want to it depends on the essential oil. Some of them you can put neat, like right on your third eye. And some of them you want to mix with a carrier oil. So anyway, ooh, clary sage. Yeah. Crystals on there. Okay, cool. All righty, guys, let's get into them then. Okay. And I'm going to open the records. How many of you have seen my YouTube video where you open how to open the Akashic Records? That's like the traditional way to open them. I'm going to drop the link here just so that any of you who don't have it, This is a way that you can open the Akashic Records and just keep letting me guide you in. I mean, you can always go on these lives as well and tune in. But I'm going to now, when I work with my clients and stuff, and when I do my programs, I just go in how the Akash guides me in. I don't go the traditional route into the Akash anymore, but that's a really awesome practice and way to get in, especially when you're first starting, or at least getting accustomed or kind of getting back into the records, or if you felt disconnected from them. So that's a great resource. So use that. I know some people who use it almost daily, and they're just like, I love it because you take me into the records, you know? So it can feel really nice to just let somebody guide you in versus you having to kind of put your intention and focus into it. You can just kind of like relax and receive a little bit more. And we want you to feel a little pampered, right? Right? Source wants us a little pampered. So let's do this. I'm going to take us in however they want to take us in. So let's start by allowing yourself to just settle into the seat beneath you, feeling your body being supported right now. Take a nice deep breath in and slowly release on the exhale. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply, allowing your eyes to gently close if they haven't already, letting the shoulders fall back and down, stretching the neck if you need to loosen the neck, soften the face. Take another deep breath in all the way to the throat. And then release your exhale out the crown at the top of your head. And just continue to breathe slowly and deeply at a pace that's comfortable for you, allowing your jaw to loosen, allowing your arms and legs to feel heavy. Sending your next exhale all the way down into the core center of Mother Earth, wrapping 3 times around her unconditionally loving core, feeling the warmth as it rises up into the body. On your way back up into the body, you're picking up all of the intelligence, the nutrients, the nourishment, the wisdom that comes from Mother Earth's root system, from the energetic ley lines and grid system of Gaia. Allow all of this to move into your cells, to light up the body, to distribute through the energy field, to settle into the heart space. Take a nice deep breath here to receive and integrate the Mother Earth energy. And then allow your crown just above the top of your head to open widely as you receive Akashic energy pouring down like a crystalline waterfall. Imagine this energy traveling through each pathway of the body. Follow it as it follows the pathways of the body. You may even find that this energy desires to carve a new pathway today. Just breathe into it, open space, allow it to go wherever it wants to go. Notice where this energy is traveling within the body, within the energy field. And just allow yourself to smile as you witness creation happening in your body at this very moment. New frequencies, new codes, new intelligence, new awareness, new consciousness that's coming alive just by being here today, just by receiving this, by setting the intention to be in this space. And after this Akashic energy has distributed through the body and come back into harmony with that Gaiac energy in the heart space, I want you to breathe deeply into the heart. Allow yourself to feel this energy ebbing and flowing with your breath, growing, expanding, and contracting. And with each contraction, it pushes more of this integrated energy through the body and releases any energy that no longer serves you. Drawing attention to our third eye, calling in the highest light and divine intelligence. Setting the intention to open up our Akashic records. Inviting in all of our guides, loved ones, angels, and ascended masters. And with this deep breath in, we will open the Akashic Records. Nice deep breath. And on the release, relax the body and welcome in all of our guides collectively, all of our angels, ascended masters, source itself, any beings that desire, any intelligence that desires to be here today, to inform our process, to hold us, to expand us, to meet us in our curiosity, to infuse us with compassion and gentleness and presence. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, beautiful humans. Hi, how do you feel? Drink water. I could have brought my pretty water bottle, but I didn't think about it. Yay, you're excited. Me too. Me too. Okay. So, Sankela, I know I said drop them later, but I see your question and it was the first one dropped. So I'm going to grab it because I can still see it. One of the reasons that I hesitate, you guys, is because if you drop too many questions at once, it bogs up this chat like I can't even explain. And then we have to spend more time with me scrolling backwards all the time. And I feel like that wastes your time. I mean, time is never wasted in the Akashic Records. Let's be real. Space is also good for integration. But I really, honestly, like I really want to honor the fact that you guys don't have to watch me scrolling. So I feel like it truly benefits you when you see that there's a couple questions here, just like chill and let me get to them and then drop more. And there's going to be people who jump on and drop a question anyway, because they didn't hear me say that. But anyway, I'm going to scroll as little as possible today. Okay. Sankela. Hi, honey. How are you? It's so good to see you. Why do I have astigmatism and myopia, and how can I improve my eyes to see better? So I'm going to throw out something really quickly just before I answer this, which is, what I do in my programs now, especially kind of towards the middle to the end of my programs, I kind of put questions back on my clients because it's really important for you guys to also know that you know the freaking answer. Like the vast majority of you, well, you all know the answer. The vast majority of you have actually thought the answer and have a knowing of the answer and just aren't trusting it, right? And I love doing readings and I love offering you guys this stuff. And what I love more is you guys learning how to do it yourself so that you're like, peace, Laura. I don't need you. I got the Akash. You know what I mean? All right. So when I read your questions, there may be times that I say, okay, what are you feeling about this? So I'm going to invite you for any of these questions that you've dropped and that you're going to drop. I want you to tune in first. I want you to tune in first to what is my knowing about this? If I knew the answer to this, what would it be? Okay. And kind of tune into that first, just to start priming that intuitive pump for yourself and to lean more in to self-trust. Okay. Because that's what this is all about. Okay. So why do I have astigmatism and myopia, and how can I improve my eyes to see better? So Sankela, you can tell me what's coming up for you around that, or at least if you don't want to say it because you're too nervous, Purvis, I get it. I get it, but just tune in. Humor me. Okay, the first thing that's coming forward is like, there's nothing wrong with you, right? Like there's nothing wrong with you. Recognize that there's nothing wrong with you. And that it's funny because my vision is terrible. I believe I'm legally blind in many states without my contact lenses. So, and I have astigmatism as well. I really do feel, and this is coming through for you very strongly, it's really an invitation into inner sight, right? Like the more inner vision that we can cultivate and refine and find discernment in, the less we're going to need to see. Well, we're actually going to end up seeing things more clearly on this planet because we're seeing with such great discernment. It's almost like this filter or this lens or this fog that's being placed in front of us because there's things that we aren't fully seeing yet, or that we're not feeling ready to see yet, that are going to come into awareness when they're meant, right? They're going to come into awareness when we're meant to see them, and when they're meant to integrate. And I think that there's probably been a lot of things on the earthly plane that it's been difficult for you to see. And this is really common for people who are empathic, people who are very in tune with energy and can feel subtle energy. And it's almost like this filter of, if I want to turn it off, I can turn it off, And so we can talk about, I think that the best statement you can ask yourself or journal on every day or ask source is really, what am I meant to be seeing right now that I'm currently not? And when we're talking about astigmatism, we're talking about the stability of the eye, right? And when we're talking about the stability of the eye, it's like that can be a kind of tweak or a refinement of that question around, what is it that I desire to see more consistently? I think that's one of the pieces that's coming up is like consistency to a degree, where it's like, well, can I hold it? Can I hold my vision? Can I hold my vision without 3D evidence that my vision is going to come to pass? Okay. So there's a few different things interlaced with this. And I would love to know where you feel drawn to begin with what just came forward. Because there's this concept of consistency on your own terms, not consistency as it's defined, because how many years I've beat myself up for not being consistent, right? And it's like, well, what does consistency mean to you, right? Because my heart and my soul are always consistent. They're very clear. They're very dialed in, right? And so it's like, okay, well, maybe because you have all of this intuitive stuff coming in, it's like when you're with your own energy, are you consistent with being in integrity to your soul? Are you consistent with being in integrity to your mission and your vision? Okay. So I'm going to leave that there. That feels complete for me. Sankala, let me know how you feel, babe. And thank you for bringing that forward and opening that for us today. Heather, hi. If you've been healing and changing behavior patterns, will that alter your records? I love this question. This makes me so happy. Yes, this is what's so freaking cool. Don't get me too excited at the beginning here, Heather. Like, seriously, it's so freaking cool because we're co-creators, you guys. This is what helps us realize, like, I am the creator. Like, how uncomfortable, raise your hand in the comments. How uncomfortable does it feel for you to say, I am the creator? Right? Like, I still get a little weird when I say that sometimes, right? Like, you are the creator and we are co-creating. Your Akashic records are a moving and an unfolding energetic entity, right? Just as is everything else. And so we imprint on our Akashic records when we choose this path and make shifts and changes in this incarnation, because our soul is always shifting and always expanding and always changing. It is a fractal of source energy, right? Source could not experience itself because it's all that was at the beginning. Have any of you read Conversations with God? Neil Donald Walsh is like the king of this conversation, right? Where it's like source energy could not experience itself because it's all there that it was. And its essence is expansion, right? Its essence is expansion. And so in order to expand, it needed to experience itself. And so it divided itself into fractals. And we are some of those fractals. Our soul is a fractal of that. And it comes into this body and it's still constantly expanding while in the human body, which is why We have this uncomfortable duality sometimes because it's like, whoa, okay, my soul just expanded again. Whoa, okay, move me that way, right? And it can feel like a roller coaster ride when you're following soul. But when you do, and you allow those invitations to magnetize you forward, you're making this trajectory of your soul so happy, right? Not that happy is really a thing with soul. They don't experience, spirits don't experience emotions like we do. But in the way that we can understand it, right? Like this is like exactly what our soul wants. So did that answer your question, Heather? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, it alters your records. Yeah, and this is the thing. You also have to keep in mind that your record is, like I said, a living, breathing, energetic, constantly in motion force. And so as you imprint, it will then shift around that imprint, right? And this is why being in tune with source energy is the best way, or our soul is the best way to continue moving forward in terms of our expansion and our alignment, because there's always going to be new information. There's always going to be new information as we continue to imprint, as we continue to expand. And it's just that keeping that curiosity and that openness. Okay. All righty. All right. So, Cassandra, there's a lot of weirdness with Akash leaders stating their way is the way, follow the soul. Seriously, don't get me started on that. I have been feeling that more and more and more. I have been feeling that more and more and more. And people will even get pissy sometimes when they'll do a reading with me. I mean, very rarely, I have to say, but like, you know, they'll come in and I'm just like, listen, I am not here to tell you this is the way to do it. Follow this, 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 and you will get this, right? Like this is not a structured experience. The greatest structure, in my opinion, that we can have in spirituality is through the Akash. That's why I love it so much, is because it really brings this this interplay of the masculine structure and like the data that we understand here on this planet and this flowing energy, right? So it's like when we anchor here, it really allows the human to feel even more settled, not just in Gaia, but in the soul that's in the body, right? And so it's like both of those aspects are then held as we continue to kind of expand. But yeah, every soul is different. Every soul is always imprinting. Every soul is always expanding. It's always moving. It's in constant motion and flux, you know? And so nobody's way is going to be exactly the same. No one on this planet is going to have the same way. No one. And that's why it's like, yeah, take everything I say, take everything another leader says, take everything your doctor says, take everything your family says, take everything that comes forward from your soul, put it together and feel into the formula that feels like you've seen more of you in a way that you've never seen before. So thank you for bringing that forward, Cassandra. So you can tell I got some feelings about that. Okay. Anna, my question is, what are some tips for how I can be my authentic self and speak my truth? So we just talked about a couple of those for sure. My hair's making me crazy today. Can you tell? It's like sticking up in the back. So let me tune into this for you in particular. Take a nice deep breath. We have 44 people watching. Angel number. Drop some angel love in the comments. Okay. Okay. One of the things they're bringing forward is, I think first, what makes you think you're not being your authentic self, right? Because it's part of this is accepting that you're always your authentic self in every moment, but that you are open to receiving even deeper levels of authenticity coming up within you. So the first thing here is, do you know your truth? Do you have full clarity on your truth? Right? Authentic self is a little bit more diffuse because that's always expanding as we expand. Like, I'm more authentic today than I was yesterday. And yesterday I said, I'm the most authentic person I know. And today I'm going to say I'm the most authentic, right? Like, it's continuing to realize that your authentic self is going to be different in every moment because you're always learning more about yourself. And so I think it's you being open to the unfolding, being open to the aspects of yourself that are coming forward, and allowing that to be met with curious compassion and appreciation, and not shying away from being open and honest about that, even if it feels taboo or unconventional. And that's the scary part. That's the scary part, right? Is that it's like, oh, what if this person is going to leave me? Or what if this person is going to think that I'm an asshole or that I'm selfish? But honestly, it's required for you to speak the truth so that those narratives and conditioning and stories and patterns that have kept you from being as authentic as you now are can start to be seen and dissolve away, right? It's not letting the fear of saying what naturally comes to your mind, which could be totally outlandish, by the way, right? Not letting the fear make you lean back. Instead, leaning into that and saying, but I see me and I taste me. And that, I know that because of how I feel, right? I know that because of how I feel. And I think that that's what we get so confused about, is it's like, well, okay, but how does this make sense? And how do I fit this into my life? And what does this mean in this context? And what does this mean in that context? Instead of, I know because I feel it. And that feeling is guiding me in the body, right? And if I don't follow that, then that's when we develop disease. That's when we develop physical and mental health symptoms, because it's like, or we're pissy in our relationships. Why isn't this person seeing me? Whatever. And it's like, well, where are you being invited into showing more of you? I can tell you, in the relationships that I've had that have hit such an impasse, right? It's really about each of us taking full responsibility for the sensations that come up within us, and being able to speak to them very consciously and calmly and lovingly, but just like, yeah, this is what's coming up. And then we can reflect to each other around, does this feel like a nervous system reaction? Does this feel like my truth, right? And that can be one of the questions, is just putting your hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just, does this feel like my truth? Does this feel like truth? And if it does, then guess what? If it feels like your truth, it's not just for you. And that's one of the things that really helped me with sharing my truth, was realizing there's so many other people out there who have a similar story to me, or who have thoughts to me. A lot of people tell me that one of the reasons they love me so much is because I say a lot of the things that a lot of other people won't say, right? I say a lot of things that people think in their heads, but won't say out loud. And there's a bravery to that too. But honestly, for me, it's service. It's service, because it's like, there's somebody out there who thinks that they're crazy, or that they're an asshole because they're thinking this, that, or the other, or they're experiencing this, that, or the other. And guess what? Like, if I have the awareness of a deep truth, that truth doesn't fully belong to me. That truth belongs to source. It's just being spoken through me. And yes, it has my flavor to it, and it's also part of me, but it's a universal truth. All truth is a universal truth, right? And so it's almost like this, what I tell my clients all the time is, when they feel stuck, when they feel like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not getting anything, whatever, a lot of times there's a few different reasons for that. But a lot of times that can come up because they're at the point where they're ready to share with other people, whether it's through healing or through sharing what's coming up, right? And it just hanging out in their field becomes too stagnant, right? So that was a really long answer to your question. And I hope that feels good. So let me know how that is for you. Okay. Sandra says, what's the timeline for my new puppy? And how is this timeline with me as a twin flame going to support me in my bridge to the next in my mediumship? It's kind of like a multifaceted question. I'm going to turn this one back onto you. What does it feel like? What does the timeline feel like? This question's just sinking in vibrationally because I'm having a little trouble understanding it from a conscious level, which is why I'm feeling into it. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like a small dog for you, for sure. Small to medium, but. And I just feel this element of play. That's what I'm feeling, is this element of play and bringing a real lightness of being to you, to your frequency, to your readings, to what you're offering. It's also going to provide this anchor for you and particularly for your inner child that allows you to feel like you're seen, like you have this, it's like this tangible, the words from the Akash. None of these words feel potent enough. I want to say it's like a tangible, unconditional love from source that you're feeling, but purity is a better word. That's what it is. You're going to receive like a tangible purity with this dog that's going to allow you to lead from a very different anchor point. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Neural, hi, I'm wondering what I am meant to know in my journey right now. Thank you for being here. Okay, so they're giving me a mix. They're saying they want you to just be, but they also want you to, they're showing me hiking. They're showing me you being in the outdoors alone, going on like solitary hikes. They're showing me mountains, going to the water. It's this piece that they want you to come into greater solidarity and integration with internally. And they feel like you're trying to do too much of this in your head and in your own field, and they really want you to rely on Gaia. They really want you to rely on Mother Earth because the tangible essence of what you're looking for exists there. And it's like an infusion. It's almost like, they want you to do this every day if you can, at least for like a week, right? And just feel into, most importantly, your lightness of being, which is what I was just saying to Cassandra. Your clarity and your discernment. And just this overall connection to everything, like feeling like you are part of something bigger. So that's what comes forward for you. Okay. Okay, Anna, I think you dropped your question twice, right? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't screw that up. Okay. Vangla, hi, I've been struggling with my purpose. What can I do to be on my path and purpose? Who knows what my answer is going to be to this? You're always on your purposeful path. I mean, that's the real answer. But no, I'm going to tune into this. I'm just messing with you. But we're always on our path and purpose, and our purpose always drops in little by little. But I think what is really underneath this question is a feeling of feeling lost or lonely or not, or feeling directionless. Like, where do I go? Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing here? Okay. I'm feeling a real purpose in the home. Like an anchor for the home. That's what it feels like to me. for right now. You know, your purpose is always evolving. That doesn't mean that that's your purpose for the rest of your life. I mean, I don't know if any of you have accessed your human design at jovianarchive.com, but the human design will show you what your purpose is for this particular lifetime. I mean, it's fairly diffuse. Like mine's the I think it's the right angle cross of love or something like that, but it's about love. Like I'm here to love, you know, love the collective, love myself, expand love, explain the concept of love. So, you know, is that specific from a concrete perspective? Not necessarily, but that's the purpose of the purpose, right? Is that we're also meant to be navigating this as we go along as well. Yeah, I'm really feeling this like anchoring into the home. And what that means too is that there's going to be information within the home. There's going to be information within, you know, how do you show up in the home? What does it feel like to be you in the home? What are the dynamics in the home that are coming up? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's yeah. Because it feels like a settling and a leaning into being to a degree. Because I feel like there's been a lot of searching happening, and they don't want a lot of like forceful trying, searching energy to be happening, because that's actually going to take you further from your path and your purpose, or really your purpose, because you're always walking your path, right? And so it can feel like when you lean back and you let yourself be in the home and really establish this almost like a feng shui vibe, like a, you know, bringing vibrational experience into the home, not only from a physical perspective and how you arrange things, but also just like the vibration that you desire for your home to carry, which includes, you know, how you show up. It includes how other people, if you have other people in the home that show up. But it's being really clear about what your home's energetic foundation desires to feel like for you, and allowing that to come into form. Okay, so that's what that feels like for me. Natalie West. How do I connect more with my guide, Naomi? I keep seeing that name lately. There's something there. Okay. I'll put this back onto you first. How do you feel? Where are you being guided to connect more with your guide, Naomi? What is she inviting you into? Because this is really about relationship, right? And that's what you want to cultivate with her. Ooh, I like this. Have you asked her to embody you? Have you asked her to like come fully into the body and go through an hour, 2 hours, half your day, a full day, more than that, allowing her energy to really guide you? It's kind of wild, right? It's kind of fun to think about, and also like a little, whoo, what's that? You know, what's that about? How's that going to feel? Because I feel like she really wants to just like, she wants to merge with you. It's not about as much about conversation. It's more, that's what she's saying. She wants you to feel her. She wants you to feel her, not just like palpably within your field, but she wants you to feel how life unfolds and you interact while she is within you. Because until you do that, you're not like, she wants this really intimate connection between the two of you. And so this practice is going to really enhance the intimacy and allow you to deeply feel how she sees the world. Because that's what she first brought forward, was like seeing through her eyes to a degree. Right? Yeah. So that's what they're inviting in. And trust that when you invite her into the body, give yourself space, give yourself breath. When you invite her into the body, she's going to arrive. Whether you feel her palpably or not, she's going to arrive. Okay. Okay. Rachna, hi. There are lots of ants coming into my house for the last year. What message am I to perceive from this regular occurrence? Well, what message have you felt? I will ask you that. As you can tell, sometimes I'm turning these around, doing a good job doing it with that one. Okay. Honestly, it feels like excitement, Rachna. Like it feels like this energetic activation. It's kind of like, this is what they're showing. I love it when they have a sense of humor. This is what they're showing me. Like they're all coming in and they're so happy and they're like carrying their food, right? Like they're coming to a picnic, like they're coming to a party and they're just like, hi, how are you? And they're kind of coming in like, let's go, get up, come on, let's move, let's go. Like they're bringing momentum into the house. And so what that's telling you is listen, right? Listen to them. Choose momentum, even if it's like a little bit, right? Feel momentum. It's not just about, okay, well, I'm going to go do yoga or I'm going to go take a walk or I'm going to go breathe or whatever it is, right? It's like not just saying I'm going to go do this, but that I'm going to feel the momentum within me that is really excitedly urging me forward. And that might not be an overnight thing that you feel the excitement that comes with it. The first thing that came up with that was excitement. That was the first thing that came up when you said the ants was excitement. That's the vibration that they're bringing in for you, which is awesome. They're like delivering it to your doorstep. They're bringing the party to you. They want you to celebrate. They want you to celebrate yourself. They want you to celebrate life. They want you to celebrate your space and the interaction of it all. So that's what comes forward for me. Okay. Hi, Tantra One. How are you? Okay. Scarlet Heart Medicine, just drop a question. Okay, good. I see it later. Cool. Lynn Wogan, what should I do about my leg? I'm just going to rephrase this a little bit. And I'm telling you this out loud so that you guys understand how to work with the records too, so that you just get more information for how to work with this space. So it's like, what should I do about my leg? We all know the word should. It's like shoulding on ourselves, right? Like, what am I supposed to do? Versus like, how is she meant to be in connection with this energy of her leg? Because when she's in connection with it, she'll know what to do, right? Like she'll get that guidance clearly. Because we don't want to necessarily attach to an outcome with these kinds of questions, right? It's like, well, with any questions, it's like more about, please inform me. Please inform me how to become more conscious about my human experience. That's really the foundation and the underpinnings and the vibration under the questions that we ask. So sometimes I will shift the wording when I actually connect with them. Okay, so we're going to tune into this for Lynn. I'm just doing some Reiki on your leg, if you're cool with that. Is it your left leg or your right leg, Lynn? It's interesting because they're having me pull the energy up into the body, which is interesting. So I'm just following this energy right now because they're having me pull it up when typically if there's something going on with your body, you want to remove it down into Mother Earth, right? Or you want to clear it downward. But this is moving it up into the body. So I'm just going to follow it. And please note this process because this is exactly the kind of way that they want you to interact with your energy, whether we're talking about your leg or anything else. Yeah. Yeah, they're pulling it all the way up to the crown. They're pulling this leg energy all the way up to the crown. It's really interesting because when I first tuned into your leg, it felt like ancestral energy. But that's why I was surprised that they weren't pulling it down. But it's not ancestral energy from people who have incarnated on this earth with you. It's ancestral energy from your soul's ancestry, which is why, like other souls that have been in communion with your soul outside of planet Earth, right? Where you've had lifetimes in other dimensions, in other star civilizations, whatever, in spirit form, that there's energy there that has kind of gotten stuck and pooled in that area of the body. Nothing's ever really stuck because energy is always moving, but it's kind of like a very slow vibration rather than a flow, if that makes sense. So when we're pulling it up, we're pulling it all the way up through the crown, and we're kind of, I want to see what they want to do with it. Yeah, they're handing it to your soul ancestors. They're handing it to the Palladians, number one. I don't know if you've ever worked with the Palladians, but this is really interesting because it's an energy that actually has absolutely nothing to do with your physical body. Like, it has nothing to do, like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's really about you being able to take some of this. It's almost like you've been grounded too much in your human, like focused too much on your human. They want you to be, they're inviting you into higher consciousness. They're inviting you into deeper understanding of your soul family, and your soul's essence. So that's really going to free up a lot of heavier energy that's settling into the body when we're kind of tunnel visioned on the 3D. Okay, so let me know how that feels. Very interesting guidance on that one. Very different than usual, but that's what's so cool about these readings. Okay. Okay, Aurelius. And I just want to note really quickly, Terrell family, you mentioned you were born with an eye disability that's uncorrected. So I know that I answered that about the eyes earlier. So tell me if you have a specific question around that, or if you feel like that was already addressed and it just kind of, you wanted to share your experience. I don't want to feel like you're being skipped. Aurelius, my question is, how can I personally not allow my overzealousness to allow hasty decision-making? Because I have such a strong desire to accomplish my purpose. It causes frustration. Would you like to have coffee? Can we talk about this, please? Because, hi, like right there with you. Okay, I'm excited to answer this one. All right. And don't forget to drink water, guys, in this energy. What a beautifully worded question to Aurelius. Thank you. I can feel your consciousness through this. It's beautiful. Okay. Okay. There's a few things coming through. One is around human design and whether or not you're an emotional authority, because when you're an emotional authority, you're going to be asked to kind of let things settle a little bit before you actually lock yourself into something that you're moving toward. So what this is really about is, some of this is nervous system regulation, right? You have this strong desire, but you need to remember that excitement and kind of this like really, really activated momentum forward can also be, and is also, nervous system dysregulation, even though it feels good. Even though it feels good and it's amazing and we're like, oh, this is awesome. I feel like I'm on fire, right? We want to recognize that it's coming from that really centered, even place that we can put all of these pieces for our purpose and our passion, right? Bring them into the center. I always like to visualize that column of light up and down our spine. Breathing into that. And trusting divine timing, right? There is no timeline for you to accomplish your purpose. Your purpose is unfolding. Your awareness is good. It's heightened. You've got a nice level of consciousness here because you have this awareness, right? Don't make anything wrong with your overzealousness or hasty decision making, because one of the things I'll tell you is that, like, if you feel guided to something but you feel like it was hasty, it's really checking into, is this a nervous system response? Is this coming from a place of trust? Am I attached to the outcome? Right? That's a big one. That's a big one. Am I attached to the outcome? What am I looking for from this? Because we can get so attached to, like, I have to accomplish my purpose. Why? Why? Because your soul's going to fricking do it anyway. Your soul's going to complete its purpose. It's going to, right? And sometimes we can almost get into like perfectionism around this, where it's like, oh my gosh, like I have to make sure I do, like I need to follow my purpose. Yeah, okay. We all do. Can you relax into your purpose? Can you relax into trust around your purpose unfolding as you remain open to what's coming through and choose to live your life so that you're not fixated on your purpose and you're not fixated on what's coming through, and you're not like, okay, I have to gather this and gather this and gather this and see what makes sense. There's a lot of frantic energy within that, right? And so it's about bringing that into settledness and kind of taking that bird's eye view, that zoom out a little bit from the concrete steps and things that you have to do to actualize it, and just feel into your purpose moving you. Because that was one of the other things that came through as soon as I read this around overzealous. The first thing they asked as soon as I read that was, is it you that's overzealous, or is it source? It's fucking source. Sorry, but it is. It's source. Like, source is so freaking pumped, dudes. In whatever way source can be pumped. Constant creation, giant energy, the biggest we could never even comprehend, right? And it's like, oh, dude, you're open. Here you go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Right? And you're not going to receive anything you're not ready to integrate. But the invitation here is for you to allow that to come through and heighten your discernment around what is meant to flow through me, what is meant for me to be my medicine that I'm meant to integrate and deepen my intelligence with, right? And what is meant to be shared with the collective. And what I've learned, I've gone through this, like I said, want to have coffee? Because I've gone through this a lot. And what I can tell you from a more steady space, and don't get me wrong, we have our moments, especially during like really powerful cosmic times, but it's really about doing less. It's really about doing less and living more, and recognizing that your purpose is going to arrive through living. And the data of the refinement of your purpose is going to come forward more as you live life. Because the fact is that we were brought here to exchange with other human beings. And it's in those reflections that we gather more data about what next steps do feel most expansive and aligned and impactful, right? So there's a lot here, and I hope you're able to receive this. You said you're attached to outcomes. Yeah, that's a great place to begin. Great place to begin. Deepening your surrender, deepening your trust. You know, even all the stuff that comes in, being able to sit down with source at like the table and be like, all right, dude, listen, let's have a talk. You gave me like 15 things today, and I'm kind of like, help me out. You know what I mean? Like, be in relationship. Be in relationship. Say to source, like, I'm just feeling a little scattered, and I'm setting the intention to bring all of this back into cohesion and clarity and discernment, and it will come online. Be consistent with it. Okay. Sarah McGee, hi. I would like to know more about my father's health and how I can best help him in his final days. Oh, I'm just seeing you guys, your responses to I am the creator. So itchy. Itchy is the best word around that. I completely agree with you. All right. All right, Sarah, first of all, sending lots of love to you and your father during his transition. We can all just kind of hold you in our hearts, bring compassion to the situation, a softening. That's what I'm feeling, a softening and a lightening. I don't know how conscious he is at this point in time, but what's coming forward is play with his inner child. There's a lot of play and like lightness of being energy coming forward today. Play with his inner child in spirit, or, just by bringing some, like a funny movie clip or funny songs, or, bringing up things that were hilarious. Whether he's conscious or not, he hears you. He receives it. I feel a lot of peace within him. I feel a lot of resolve, a lot of completion. His soul is beautiful. What they're telling me is like, don't focus so much on his health as much as you connect with the essence of like, oh my gosh, Sarah, his soul is gorgeous. Like, honestly, it's like choking me up right now. He has ridiculously zen energy on a soul level. It's like anesthesia. Like my whole body's like feeling numb. And they want you to feel into this while he's still here, right? Because they want you to be able to like appreciate that sensation while being present with his human expression, because it's just going to enhance intimacy. And they want you to focus less on the health and more on seeing him through as human. He wants to be seen through as human. He doesn't want anybody to focus on his health. That's not where he is. He's not in this health space. Maybe he is on a conscious level, but like emotional, spiritual level, he's like I said, he feels peaceful. He wants to be seen for who he is, at the deepest level, and that's the biggest gift you can give him. So that's what's coming forward for that. Okay. Scarlet Heart Medicine. I would love to know about the person I am seeing and if they are for me or not, why I can't stop thinking about her. Okay. So I'll tune back into you, asking you to connect with, does it feel like this person is for you? Let me feel into this. There's definitely a lot of energy around it. And I feel anxiety. There's anxious energy around this. Yeah, I feel this like really anxious dance going on here. You're not going to know if she's for you until you remove more of your own stuff from her field, because it feels like there's a lot of you in her field. It feels like anxious attachment energy to me, to be honest. You're going to have more clarity on this when you have a little bit more space. And that doesn't mean space from her, from a relationship standpoint, but like more detachment for yourself, right? Like more sovereignty for you, so that you're engaging with her from a space of like, not, I need anything from you or I require you, but that I just really enjoy you. right? Like, I just really enjoy you. And I think that this anxious energy that's coming up around it, some of it may be her own dynamic. But you're not going to know that. You're not going to know that unless your energy is removed, because it's muddying the waters. Because when I tune into her energy, I do feel a little bit of a disconnect. I feel a little bit of a disconnect when I connect to her energy in the space between the two of you. And but right now it feels like you're just missing each other, right? Like, just missing each other, and like communication, in like the nervous system state that you're coming to each other with. Just feels like there's a lot of this going on, right? And so when you kind of say, okay, I choose not to be part of the nervous system dance, right? Like, I've decided that I want clarity and I don't want to be part of that dance. And so therefore I'm going to say, like, I care about you deeply and I love this relationship and I want to remain connected, but I am also going to take very intentional time for me, where I want to pay attention to this narrative that's going in your mind where you're thinking about her, right? Because that feels like attachment to me. That feels like attachment to me, where you get to come back to your true knowing and your solidarity with or without her in your life. It's so interesting, because I think that sometimes what can happen is we get so scared about losing people that we can then, or is this person for me or not? And we get so focused on that we're so focused on the outcome that we're not as present in the process. So I would also just focus on presence. And, there's very basic meditation practices that I find we should all come back to, no matter how long we've been on the spiritual path. I know I need this right now, right? Which is like, when you're meditating, like going into intentional meditation, and when those thoughts come in, it's just labeling them as thoughts. Stop making them about her. Stop making her the object of your focus. She's energy, right? She is energy. You are energy. This whole world is energy, right? And so you're placing a lot of meaning and almost pressure on, is this for me or not? And why can't I stop thinking about it and all of this? And it's like, but it's not about her. It's about you deciding, how do you desire to show up? How do you desire to feel? How do you desire to be? And if this is not how you desire to feel and be, bring yourself into that. And in that space, you will have clarity on the two of you. So let me know how that feels. Okay. All righty. Lisa, what do I most need to know about, and where to just allow or take action for my successful career transition? I just need a sip of water. Okay. They just said you already know, so we're just going to start with that. This is all about how you view yourself, and all about I want to say leadership, but that's not the right word. Leadership that they're inviting you to stand in, but I guess it's a really like a personal authority is a better word, around who you are and what you offer. It's an embodiment. They want you to focus mostly on your embodiment. What do you want to embody in this career transition? Like, what do you want to feel? I'm sure you already know that. Like, Why do you want to transition your career? That'll give you the answer, right? Why do you want to transition? Because I want to feel blah, 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 right? Okay. So let's call that forward and bring the embodiment of those vibrations into your field so that you are, so that you're taking action from an aligned place, right? You're taking action from the version of you that has purpose in you shifting in the first place. I feel so excited for you. Can I just put this out there? Because they just keep, as you more vibrational information than concrete in this one. And I just feel like this is a really big opening for you, Lisa. I really do. I feel like this is a really big opening, and it feels bright, and it feels like this is the image they're giving me. This is the image they're giving me is when you make this transition, it's like you're like, ah, right? Like you open like these like beams of light just like shoot out of your heart. Like that's what I'm seeing. And it's an opening into you seeing more of you and like being excited about who you are. Like get excited. This is like this transition is like a standing tall energy for you. It's a standing tall energy. It's like a little, you got a little boss girl vibes in this energy. Like this tastes really fucking good to me. Like the texture of this is like, I love that. So like, claim it. Claim it. Okay, I see your emojis. Let me know how that feels. But it's really an embodiment. Just be like an excited little puppy right now. Carrie, my biggest download, if you will, was to stay away from anything with rules and spiritual speech. Or spiritual search. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. There are no rules. And like, this is the thing though. If you find like, you know, how we talk about in Christianity, there's the commandments, like, you know, there's these laws, these spiritual laws that people follow, like in laws of attraction, you know, things like that. Like if there are spiritual rules, I guess, you know, but spiritual tenets that you find, you come to embrace and live by because of your own personal, intimate, unique experience with source, fine. You get to set those for you, or you get to be like, this feels like a formula to me. It feels like a formula that when this comes up, boom, 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 that's my formula, right? Fine, but it's not imposing that on anyone else or saying that that's the rule of law. You know, in programs, I'm like, listen, you take what I say and we modify it. The reason I have one-on-ones in my programs, group calls, all these things, we modify it based on how does it feel in your body to actually receive this? How does it feel to you when you execute this? What is the data you're receiving from your field internally and externally when you begin to execute this practice that might work for me, but that might need to be tweaked for you, or might be like, oh, that's not for me, right? Yeah. Okay. All righty. So I'm probably going to do a couple more questions here. Gabriella, I see you, but I would love for you to post a question, which I don't know that I would get to today because I'm going to do a couple more, but I'm just getting to your comment that you want a reading. Oh, I just see it. It's down here. Okay, I'll jump into it. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, Gabriella, I'm going to jump to you and then I'll go back up to Missy Bonds. Hi, Missy. How are you? All right, Gabriella, I'm wondering what I should know about right now to being in more financial abundance. You guys, I have so many rants that I want to go off on right now, because this one is okay. Again, there's a few things they want to bring forward about this. One is attachments, right? Money is one of our biggest attachments. Money is one of our biggest attachments. Love relationships, money, and health. Those are like our biggest attachments on the planet. If you have other ones, drop them in the comments. We can celebrate. We can celebrate and witness our attachments, right? One thing I'll tell you is that, and I'm still going to tune in and answer this, but they really want everyone to receive this as well, which is, I'm going to bring this into an example around my health. For those of you who don't know, I had sepsis 8 years ago. I almost died a few times, blah, blah, blah. Very long story. I was told I should apply for disability, blah, blah, blah. Here I am. I'm amazing. Okay. I'm amazing, just in case you didn't know that. So I realized that for a while, I was kind of focused on, I was like, I know this is possible. I know this is available. I know good health and consistent health is possible. I know it's available to me. If it's available to me, I can create it, right? I can create it. And like, I've got this. I've got this. But I realized that there was a little bit of like a pushy energy around it, right? And an attachment to, I'm going to fix my health, right? Which is very similar to this, like, I want more money. You're allowed to. You're allowed to. And thank you for placing that desire here, because we all have desires, right? But it's when we surrender the need to have it a certain way that it arrives. When I said to God finally one day, fine, if I'm not meant to be here, I'm not meant to be here. Like when this incarnation is meant to end, it's meant to end, right? Same thing happened for me with money. I did the money mantras. I did the, moving the scarcity from the body, the somatic work, the journaling prompts, the shadow work, the ancestral clearing, like you name it, around financial stuff, right? Guess what helped me the most? Not giving a shit about money. Not that I don't give a shit. That's a dramatic way of putting it, but it's like disconnecting from it, from requiring that in order to feel a certain way, because it's like, what will you feel when you're in more financial abundance? What is that feeling that you're looking for? Because financial abundance is all about, it's the energy of play and creativity and joy and fun. Again, this is coming up today. Seems to be a theme. There's always a theme on each one. This is the theme today. Lightness and play and creativity, right? And so it's about knowing that it's possible and knowing that it is a realistic thing in the field that could drop in at any moment of any day. And that the only thing you need to do to access this is to, number one, open space to connect with yourself and source. And number two, to bring in this energy of joy and play and freedom, because that's what money likes. Money doesn't like restriction. Money doesn't like being put into a box. Money doesn't like being micromanaged, right? So it's knowing that the opening is there and keeping yourself super open to this, like, oh my gosh, this universe is like massively abundant. I'm in awe of it. I'm in awe, and it's so fun, right? We get to play with the abundance that we have. And also being an acceptance and appreciation of the place you're in now and allowing it to be okay, allowing it to be just right. Right? Yes. There you go, Gabriella, 100%. Follow that. You're going to open. Follow that. I love that. This happens to all of us, by the way. None of you, please, any of these questions, anything coming forward, we're not going to sit in shame. We're not going to beat ourselves up. Oh, I always do this shit. I get stuck in work. And I'm not saying this, what you're doing, Gabriella, is just coming forward as a collective share. But it's like, We all do it. We're human beings. We get stuck in the human sauce. This is why we do readings like this. This is why we have spiritual community. This is why we're in exchange with other humans to hold us accountable, to bring us back to our truth, to our knowing, to our, babe, you're wearing yourself out. Don't forget to make space for you. This is where you're being nudged, right? And we just need these reminders. Okay. Missy, lots of angel love. Angel love back. Thank you. I receive you. That's a really cool question, Missy. In general, how long does it take our bodies to adapt after a period of accelerated spiritual growth? I mean, do you really want me to answer this after eclipse season, Missy? Dude, my body still hasn't adapted. I'm assuming you're in the same place since you're asking this question. I mean, you're going to hate the answer of it depends, right? But it's going to be in proportion to the magnitude of the spiritual growth. Yes, we can talk about accelerated spiritual growth, but sometimes it can be really fast and accelerated, and we can integrate it really well, you know? So for me, I think it's about the level of detour that you're taking in terms of conventionality that your body is accustomed to. Does that make sense? So it's like, if this is something that really defies like a very bold level of convention, something that's like more deeply ingrained into earthly societies and stuff like that, it's going to be not just something that your body has to adapt to from this lifetime, but from your ancestors, for sure. And so when that comes in, I think that if your body's taking more time to adjust, have you asked your body what it needs? Have you asked your body how you can love on it? Surges of energy, and then I'm pooped. Yep. This has been huge, and I had a dream that just blew my mind. I think I might have actually been face-to-face with Source. Isn't that the best? Being face-to-face with Source, by the way, if you guys have not done this in a meditation, you want to blow yourself wide open? You might not right now, but oh, baby. Yeah. I'm getting the same thing right now, Missy. These surges of energy, and then there's still a lot of new Earth energy coming into this planet starting in December 2023 and then really peaking during eclipse season. Plus, Pluto just went retrograde. We had a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Like, there's a lot of things going on, and I don't like to fixate on all of the astrology too much. I do appreciate it, and I feel like it's a helpful tool. But I also think that it's bringing in more patience into the body and more space, right? More space for these energies to integrate. This is the thing, Missy. I know where you are to a degree with your level of consciousness. And I think what you're realizing now, and this is a great answer for your question as well, is that as we grow and as we expand, we're holding bigger energies. And the other piece I will tell you is that there's been a ton of the quantum field coming online, really big iconic energies coming into the planet. And when that happens, we are open, and we've been on this path for a while, and we are really this like wide channel for spirit to come through and for these galactic beings to come into. We are holding larger energies with higher frequencies. And so sometimes the answer is really, I don't know, with the body, because we're dealing with energies we've never encountered before, So it's less about a timeline and more about being in relationship and communication with the body. And as you grow, you're going to need more and more and more and more space to integrate more and more energies. Not more energies, bigger energies, right? So I think this is more about the quality and the type of energy that's coming in through you. And really evidence of your expansion of consciousness that they know you're ready for it. Right? And so, yes. The other thing, Missy, is, are you healing? Are you giving healing almost every day? Because that's one of the things that can really assist our bodies with integration of this energy. That's one of the fastest ways that I integrate, is by healing others, right? We're not meant, especially as you grow, you're not meant to be holding this and just dealing with your field alone with these galactic energies. It's really an extra kick in the butt and launch pad into a more intentional, directive healing practice, and really gift to collective consciousness. So let me know how that feels. Yes, Carrie, I feel you. My truth has cost me friends, church, a job. The freedom is so liberating. It really is. It's so painful humanly, you guys, but okay. I think I feel complete for today. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much. I will be posting this. Oh, well, it's going to be on my YouTube, but I will be posting when I'm doing more readings for you. Right now, if you guys want to hang out with me, you can book one-on-one sessions. I'll put those in the comments of the replay here. I have some intensives that you can do. I also am always inviting people into one-on-one support if you'd like that. And my Vitality program is starting in June. I also have a retreat coming up in the fall on intimacy with yourself, with others, how relationship with others in human form is the catalyst and the gateway to our highest expansion, right? And doing that in real time. So I will drop some of those links here if you want to check it out. If you want to connect further, that's fine. I love you. Thank you for being here. I really, really love this community. I deeply appreciate all of your compassion, your consciousness, your reflections, your raw nature, your authenticity. And for those of you who didn't get questions answered, I do actually have a bunch of digital programs on my website, and Akashic card readings are one of them. They're $40. I get back to you within a week. I do some card readings and bring in Akashic guidance, and I'm happy to answer those questions for you as well. So I will post that in the comments, not right here, right now, but as soon as it shares to my channel. And it's just been such a blessing to be here with you. So let's close up the records together. Closing our eyes and taking a nice deep breath in. Offering gratitude and appreciation for all the love, guidance, and support in this space today. For the community, for the co-creation, for the collaboration, for the wisdom. Acknowledging the frequency of oneness, knowing that as we are present here, as we receive here, as we remain open, as we do this work, our shifts extend to the collective. And it's with this final Om that we will close the Akashic Records. The records are now closed. Thank you again for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I will see you very soon. Bye.